Do I even need to say at the start that Predator is an awesome movie? Not really. It's truly an action classic and one of the very best from Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's one of my favorites from the 80s. And personally, of all the Predator films, I like this one and the 2010 Predators the best. Predator 2 had its moments, but I'm not really a fan of that one. Prey was so average I barely remember it, and the less said about these, the better. But whenever there is success from Hollywood, there usually comes knockoffs, and who better to make one than the Italians? Predator was directed by John McTiernan, from the script by John and Jim Thomas. McTiernan has made some legit classics in his day, such as today's topic, Die Hard, The Hunt for Red October, and Die Hard with a Vengeance. Last Action Hero wasn't too bad either. Sadly, his career derailed around 2007 due to his own bad luck and dumb decisions. Robowar was directed by Bruno Mattei under the pseudonym Vincent Dunn, and it features B-movie star Reb Brown. He's best known for playing Captain America in 2 TV movies, You're the Hunter from the Future, and...
Well, anyway, got that out of my system. Roll Fizzlebeat.
It was written by Claudio Fragasso and Rossella Drudi, best known for making Troll 2. Bruno Mattei has made an extensive career out of making knockoffs, different kinds of exploitation cinema, and more than his fair share of porn. His career also derailed in 2007 because he died. So to really compare and contrast these movies, I feel I need to do so following the way Predator goes along. Mostly because Robowar is such a slapdash padded piece of crap, and I'm going to lead with the better film. Also, Robowar copies a ton from Predator, but most of the events happen in a different order. Predator opens with the creature being dropped off to start his hunt, while Arnold and his guys are being taken to a base for their next mission. In this film, Arnold is told that they're going into guerrilla territory to rescue a cabinet minister and his aide, whose chopper went off course. It makes Arnold suspicious, but with reassurances from Dylan, who is to accompany the team, Arnold goes in. Now in Robowar, we get introduced to the guys via a crummy slideshow. Come on, you can't introduce Reb this way. You need to do it like this.
Sorry! Get out. Well, I think we're really out this time.
And instead of Carl Weathers, we have this guy named Masher, who created a robot that is going haywire. He and Reb do not like each other from the start, so no knockoff version of this.
You son of a bitch.
He is to accompany Reb and his team to shut down the robot, with the team having the pretense of taking out guerrilla forces in certain locations? Yeah, they don't really give Reb and his guys a somewhat believable cover story.
We'll pass you off as the mission's technical advisor, but they must never learn the whole truth, before or after.
So what when we find him? They'll know then?
That's my problem.
And because of this will lead us to watching them dick around and waste ammo. One of the best parts of Predator is showing the guys in the chopper doing a bunch of shit talking to one another. It shows you that these are guys that have worked together on many missions, and while they may throw tons of verbal abuse at one another,
That's stinking shit out of my face.
Bunch of slack-jawed faggots around here. This stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, strap this on your sore-ass plane.
they have each other's backs. They're comrades with a long history together, and this short scene perfectly illustrates that. The problem is when Robowar does it all wrong. The guys seem like they barely know each other. And the back and forth sounds less like friends giving each other a hard time, and more like genuine insults.
Fuck it, Diddy. Quit moving around like you're jerking off. You're making me seasick. Drug addicts and fags. I bet they got AIDS too, Uncle Quang.
You're looking for kicks, Peel. You can always kiss my white ass.
You don't get a sense that these guys are long friends that can do this to each other and just laugh it off. In Predator, when the guys land in the jungle, they don't waste time. They investigate the downed chopper in the trees to find out what's going on. In Robowar, we get a ton of padding. The guys just walk in the woods, then stop to shoot this thing or that sniper. Then we get more walking with one of the guys getting his leg caught in a trap. Reb chases what he thinks is a gorilla, while this version of Billy encounters melted bodies. In Predator, after they investigated the downed chopper, Billy finds the bodies that the Predator has claimed as trophies.
You're strange, Major. Look like an ambush. They shoot in all directions.
Strange, Major. There was a firefight. They were shooting in all directions.
It's scary. There are no isolated tracks.
Can't believe that Jim Harper walked in on ambush.
I don't believe he did. I can't find a single track.
In Robowar, Masher encounters the robot and, Yeah, okay, this thing looks like crap, but credit where it's due. It's more menacing than the original Predator design. You know, the one before Stan Winston came along and gave us the badass one? The one that was originally supposed to be played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, apparently? The one that John McTiernan took one look at and said, "Oh no."
I shot a shot, 2 shots with the damn thing, and just sent it back to the studio saying, "You really don't want us to continue with this, do you?" And they looked at it and said, "Nope."
The robot gets away, and what happens next? You guessed it, more walking. Oh, and I almost forgot. In Predator, they find one of the dog tags from the downed chopper belonging to a buddy of Arnold's named Jim Hopper. In Robowar, they later find a dog tag in the severed arm of one of Reb's guys, and that dog tag belonged to an old buddy of his from Vietnam. In Predator, Arnold and his guys attack the gorilla base, and it's awesome. It's not as awesome in Robowar. In fact, it's actually really lame.
What are you going to do now? Come on! Get the shit out! Cut that out! Easy!
It plays like kids playing army with either paintball or airsoft guns. And while it may be fun for them, it's just tedious for us. With the most exciting thing you'll see is them getting hit in the face with the pellets bouncing off the trees they shot.
Don't move.
Lame.
Stick around.
After attacking the base, Arnold learns that Dillon was using them to wipe out Russians working with the guerrillas.
Look, we've been looking for this place for months. My men were in that chopper when it got hit. Hopper's orders were to go in and get my men, and he disappeared.
He didn't disappear. He was skinned alive.
In Robowar, the closest thing we get to that encounter is when Reb confronts Masher later on in the film about the robot.
Omega-1 is the perfect and ultimate weapon.
Tell me you invented that thing?
Yes. Together with my team of bionic experts. I told them it was a little premature. You know, I had more tests to do, things like that, but...
Now it's out of control.
Dillon in Predator wants to bring Anna along, but nobody else does.
She goes with us. She's too valuable. She's got to know their whole network. She'll give away our position any chance she gets. You're still under orders, Major. Now, you want to make that call, or should I?
She's your baggage. You fall behind, and you're on your own.
In Robowar, they find a humanitarian worker named Virginia, or Virgin as she's listed in the credits, and rescue her from guerrillas, somehow without killing her in this reckless spray of gunfire. Before the robot chases them away. In this film, the gang wants to bring her along, but Masher does not.
There is no way that she can come along.
Listen, asshole. I'm in command here, and the girl's coming with us.
In Robowar, the first to get picked off is this guy, but in Predator, it's Hawkins, and later on, of course, Blaine. The funny thing is, in Robowar, Reb just walks past one of his men who is just hung to a tree. Man, he has worse tunnel vision than I do. At least in Predator, Hawkins' body was hanging very high in the trees, and it makes sense why Arnold and his guys wouldn't find him. Which leads to one of the coolest scenes in Predator. Just the guys firing into the jungle after Mac cries, In most other action movies, this would probably look stupid, but in Predator, it actually makes sense. They don't know where the enemy is, and this is in a way panic fire. Plus, this shows the group's discipline breaking down. Mac is so scared that he doesn't let his finger off the trigger of the minigun until long after he's out of ammo. Also, come on. Don't tell me you didn't chuckle or just laugh with joy seeing this scene, because look at it. Sometimes what's awesome is awesome. No in-depth explanation needed. We get something similar in Robowar, and yeah, it kind of sucks. Actually, it really sucks. This is technically the second time they do this in the film. The first time they did it, it was when they were taking out that sniper, or what they thought was a sniper. Between those times and taking out the gorillas in the village, I'm amazed they have any ammo left to waste doing this.
There's no blood. There's no body. There's no traces at all. We didn't hit a damn thing!
Not a thing. Not a fucking trace. No blood, no bodies. We hit nothing.
Shit, man. I've seen some heavy greens in my time, but this sure takes the cake.
Seen some badass bush before, man, but nothing like this.
Most of Reb's guys look like they could at least pass for a Timu version of Special Forces guys. But as for this character, Papa Doc? What the hell even happened here? I don't think this guy knows what combat ready even means. It looks like he intended to go fly fishing in Montana, but somehow got on the wrong plane and ended up in the Philippines. Yeah, he gets killed by the robot too. In Predator, of course, they set up means to try to trap and kill the Predator, but that goes belly up fast. Mac gets picked off, and so does Dylan. Billy stays behind to stand and fight, but of course dies. And so does Pancho. Arnold tells Anna to
get to the chopper!
While he must handle the Predator alone. In Robowar, of course, we see them set up a trap which anyone on Earth, let alone a robot, could see. Masher tries to use a kind of self-destruct device which has an amazingly short range, and yeah, he dies. One of Reb's other guys tries to get to the device, but somehow Reb and the others don't see the robot coming to warn him, and yeah, he dies too. And like in Predator, this version of Billy stays behind to face the robot, and yeah. Reb sticks with Virginia and they head to an abandoned hospital, where she makes napalm.
Yeah, I have a degree in chemistry. I've had some experience with the stuff.
Okay, they try to use it on the robot and blow up the building in the process, but it doesn't work. Reb tells her to swim to the boat while he takes on the robot, but in a giant anticlimax, the robot just hands Reb the detonator. Yeah, the guy in the robot is actually Reb's old Vietnam buddy. Little bit of RoboCop there. So yeah, Reb just blows him up and that's the end of the movie. We don't even have a creative fight scene between Reb and the robot? Really? We get that and then some in Predator. Arnold sets up clever traps and even calls out the creature to fight. In Robowar, the closest thing we get is this. Well, at least Reb got to really scream at some point. But yeah, the end battle between Arnold and the Predator is really awesome, with Arnold barely escaping death as the Predator self-destructs, and comes away from all this barely hanging on. Whereas Reb just escapes from a firecracker by comparison. That blows. Now look, I'm not knocking Robowar because it's a cheap knockoff. Some of those can be quite fun. In fact, I've seen some others from Bruno Mattei. 2 of them, in fact, and they are from my least favorite genre, zombie movies. Hell of the Living Dead was incredibly funny in just how stupid it was from start to finish, and even Zombie 3 was entertaining in a demented, nonsensical way. No, I'm bashing Robowar because it's boring, and not even Reb Brown can make it watchable. Now, there are some silly things in Robowar, such as thinking the robot is saying greasy when he is actually saying receive. And there's some bizarre staging of certain scenes, like when the guys are rescuing Virginia from the gorillas. What are they doing here before they open fire? Posing for a magazine? Or even this. Those and other things get a chuckle from me, but they don't make for a watchable or even a fun piece of crap. I once heard that these kinds of movies are charmingly bizarre, but this one is not, sadly. If you're looking for cheap B-movie thrills, look elsewhere. As for Predator, I don't need to add any more to that one. Watch it if you haven't already, it's one of the greatest action movies ever. It runs entire planetary orbits over a grand majority of movies we get nowadays.